Good evening and welcome to another segment of this math that we're doing. Let's talk about multiplying and dividing rational expressions. With this, we should be able to move forward even though there's snow. So, let's start this way. When you're multiplying and dividing rational expressions, let's first talk about simplifying them. That's going to be the key to all that we do. So understand that we're using the rule AC over BC equals, well, we're using this rule right here. So say you have AC over BC. That can simplify. In other words, these two terms can cancel out, and you're just left with A over B. It works with pretty much every rational expression that you have, as long as you can break it apart and simplify it. Say, for example, you have 15 over 65. This breaks apart into 3 times 5 in the top, right? And in the bottom, it breaks into 13 times 5. So with that, the 5's will cancel out, and you'll just be left with 3 over 13. Now, same thing works with binomials and binomials in particular, but any polynomial. These cancel out just being in parentheses. These binomials cancel out with each other being that they're identical. One in the top, one in the bottom. And all you're left with is just 4 over x minus 5. So we're going to simplify like that with a lot of different problems that we have. I'll do a problem like this just so we can really get it into what needs to be done. What I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to factor first just to get my simplification process in. So that means that this simplifies into, let's see, x, well, not x squared. Let's say x, there's an x here, an x here. Let's go 3, 5. The minus goes here, the plus goes here. That's the top. And the bottom's going to be x plus 3, x minus 3. Now notice that the x plus 3's are the same, so I can cancel those out. So all I'm left with is x minus 5 over x minus 3. So you see how simple the simplification process could be as we're doing those. Just to make sure we have all the other ones, let's talk about now multiplying, since we have the idea of how to simplify. If we're simplifying, remember, like terms cancel out. And just understand where those terms actually cancel out. To be honest, with me personally, I like to cancel out before I multiply. That way everything is separated out, but you can see what cancels with what. So, here, notice that this x right here cancels with that x. We're good there. Let's say that this y cancels with this y cubed, and you're left with y squared. However, y squared cancels out with that y squared. And after all of that, let's see, this 5 cancels with this 10. We're left with a 2. This 2 cancels with this 6. We're left with a 3 here. So after you're done canceling everything out, all you're doing is just putting it all back together. And in putting it all back together, you end up with 3x squared on the top. I believe that's all we have left on the top. And on the bottom, let's see, the 2's cancel out, the x's cancel out. All we're left with is just a 2. So you can do it that way. Other ways you can deal with it is, say I have 5x squared over 2xy squared. I'm going to rewrite the same problem, and I'll show you that if you want to, all you have to do, you could multiply straight across if you wanted to. Multiplying straight across, let's see, that's going to be 30x cubed y cubed on the top, And on the bottom, that's going to be 20 xy cubed. This is a y, by the way. And the y cubes cancel out. The x cubes and that cancel out. I'm left with x squared. Those two things cancel out. I have a 3 here and a 2 here, and you still get 3x squared over 2. So any way you would want to go about it, that's your choice. So we can do the same thing when we're doing regular rational expressions. Say you have a rational expression, multiplying two of them together that look like this. The first thing you should do is factor. When those are factored, when those things are factored, now you can start canceling. Once again, I like to cancel before I multiply. So if I do that, let's see, the x plus 2's are gone. The x minus 3's are gone. The x minus 2's are gone. And I think that's all I can do. So really, once you do all that canceling, you should be left with 3x over x minus 3. So let's actually, from there, I can talk about dividing rational expressions. When I'm dividing rational expressions, remember, when we divided these rational expressions, you had to multiply by the reciprocal of the second one, right? So notice how you have 1/2 divided by 2/3. That turns into 1/2 times 3/2. So if that happens, you end up with just 3/4. The same rule applies if you're talking about rational expressions. Well, algebraic rational expressions. Say here you're dividing 6xy over a squared by 3y over a cubed x. So it turns into a multiplication problem of 6xy over a squared times a cubed x over 3y. Now, if you just start canceling, you understand what you have left over from here should be 2ax squared over 1. So if we make this a little bit more about, if we make this some more rational expressions, say here we have, what's that, 7x? Well, I'll rewrite one of these just so we can make it a little, well, actually, I'll just do this one up here. Say this one right here. Let's first rewrite this expression. This one right here. If I rewrite that expression, that's going to be 7x over 2x minus 10 times x squared minus 11x plus 30 over x squared minus 6x. Now, I don't like doing more than one step at a time, so I'm going to do that, and now I'm going to factor it. If I factor it now, I should be able to do what needs to be done. See, so now that's 7x over 2 times x minus 5 times, see, let's factor the top part now. See, and x goes here, x goes here. Let's see, 5 and 6 will work. 5, 6, put a minus sign, and all of that is over, take that x out, x times x minus 6. So in having all of that, let's see, those cancel out. It turns to the multiplication problem after we do that. So all of those cancel out, these x's cancel out, and with that, I should end up with 7 over, let's say, 7/2. Is that 7/2? That is 7/2 because everything else is canceled out. So really, you understand how to do that. Now, if you have a problem like this, the same process, but remember that this is a rational expression over 1. So if it's a rational expression over 1, then remember that's just 6x squared plus x minus 15 over 4x squared times 1 over 3x squared plus 5x. So now you can just go about doing this the same exact way that you did this one. As soon as that's done, all you're doing is just factoring, canceling. I will leave the rest of it up to you how that's actually done. So based on all of those, you guys should be able to do 5.4 multiply dividing rational expressions. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and I will be happy to answer them for you.